2022.
Yes.
222.
Yeah, somebody was telling us,
XRP and stuff.
yeah, you got to get into that because the government is adopting those. Do you agree with that?
I mean, no.
No.
What are you buying? Give us the sauce, bro, please.
Let them cook.
I would say a really good ecosystem right now is TON, TON.
TON.
It's the Telegram Open Network. So the founder of Telegram, if you follow the history of Telegram, he launched an ICO and the SEC sued him. It was over $1 billion crazy ICO and he had to refund everybody. But then they kind of launched it in a decentralized way and they're building a ton of crazy. So it's the currency of the Telegram ecosystem. So if you're going to bet on something that already exists, that has tons of users, that is actually well developed, I've been looking a lot at the TON ecosystem. It's a $2 billion market cap. It's not a small coin, but it has something that's actually backing it that has a decade plus of history, trackable winning teams. I think that that's probably a good place to look, bro.
So you don't think the government is going to switch over to these ISO 2022 tokens?
I'm not saying they're not, but I've been buying XRP since 2016. Like the amount of opportunities that have come and gone, if had my money been elsewhere and not, when is the government going to approve this thing that I don't even know what it is?
Right.
XRP $500. Like, bro, like, come on, dude. Like, who are the people telling you these things? Now, I have theses about Ripple. It's not whether it's going to go or not go. It's a simple fact of, is there more opportunity elsewhere? Is there better opportunity elsewhere? And am I willing to lose this boat if it ever happens to capture another one? And yeah, XRP is just, there's too much capital already in it, bro. There's other opportunities out there for sure.
Are you doing any boring investments? Like, does Luke Belmar have a 401k?
No.
Do you have health insurance?
It's a great question. Yes, I have health insurance. I mean, I have all the normal, but my investment strategy is very simple. Be super liquid, have minimal assets that require maintenance. So I don't like to have things that require my mental framework and my mental real estate to be occupied by, I need to pay this mortgage, or hey, my McLaren, the battery of my McLaren's dead, or I have to go pick up this car. I don't like these things. They can be, if people want to fill up their life with those troubles, that's fine. I don't like that asset class. That asset class can appreciate. I don't like it. I like 3 asset classes. One, on the hard assets, I like gold and silver. Why? Because I can exchange these things anywhere in the world for a fair price, right? We all can agree that I can move $1,000 of gold anywhere and sell it for $1,000. Same thing can go with Bitcoin, but I can do it in a digital way. Yes, the price fluctuates. Yes, there's a little bit more uncertainty, but I can take $100,000 and move it from here to Lithuania with a hard drive, and nobody would ask me a question. If I was to take $100,000 worth of gold bars from here to Lithuania, bro, they would be all over me. So you have those digital assets. That's a good investment. Remember, we're talking liquid. You have your physical assets, and then you have cash. Cash, you need to be banking on winning economies and on the strongest economies. People say the U.S., okay, but what's better? Tell me what currency's up next that isn't another piece of, but ours is backed by what? The military, dude. Play with our currency, boom. What happened last time you played with the currency? Look what happened with Gaddafi, who tried to establish the Pan-African currency that was backed by gold. Boom. Civil eruption, death. Look at Kennedy. Kennedy tried to establish the silver-backed dollars. 6 months later, boom. Back. Abraham Lincoln, he wanted to establish the greenback dollars, which was his way.
But it seems to be very much high quality.
Quality over quantity wins every single time, because quality, I don't want to be a bitch to the algorithm. You know, I don't want to be the thumbnail guy. I don't want to be chasing likes. I don't want to be chasing follows. I want to incorporate this into my life. And I don't want this idea of having to be a slave to posting on YouTube or posting on Instagram every single time. And I think people resonate with that. It's not because I'm creating content to acquire new subscribers and new followers. I'm creating content for the people that have already subscribed. So I've kind of taken YouTube in an entire different approach. Instead of being like, okay, let me grow my channel, I've been like, let me honor the people that have actually subscribed to my content and give them the best version of myself. That's why I think people return.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen so many people, they're almost selling their soul just to get those likes and get those shares. Like I've seen it happen on YouTube, especially with Instagram. Like since the introduction of Reels, people are literally just copying other people doing this like stupid stuff they would never normally
Pouring
do
themselves.
Yeah. And like sometimes it does work. Like you get the likes, you get the comments and the shares, but it's just like, at what cost?
I don't want to be an actor, bro.
Yeah.
Acting is so fucking tiring and expensive. I want to just be me. And in that refinement of being myself, I want people to resonate with it. I want to be authentic. And I think with that authenticity, I think that's the new meta when it comes to content and what people are actually looking for. People are looking for authentic people that they resonate with. They don't want idols. They want people that they can share something in common with. Yeah, you sure, of course, can have people that inspire you and stuff like this, but if you can have somebody at levels with you, and it's like, you know what, homie, like I got you, like I resonate with what you're doing, but here's another level of the game. You know, like I can sit down with you and I'm like, okay, perfect. I need to develop my health in a better aspect. I need to develop my physique. But when I perceive you as a homie. I don't look at you like, oh, here's this influencer, Mike Thurston, like 1.1 million. Oh, crazy. I don't perceive that because I perceive you as human. Yeah. Because you're human and you come off that way. So it's also the persona that you've built online. It's not a persona that you've built. It's you. And I think that that's what resonates with people is the fact that you are the best version of yourself and you're showcasing that on a daily basis without having to whore for likes, without having to post bullshit little dancing videos to get likes. Yeah. And I think that that's what attracts high quality followers and people that fuck with us.
Was there a point in your life where you became fully comfortable with who you were and you were like, do you know what? I get it. Like I understand life. I'm happy with who I am. Was there an age?
I think it's a process. I think it's a process of maturity and understanding that you're always growing and that you're always learning and that you have to treat yourself with grace and compassion. Because if you're not a lover of yourself, if you're not a fan of yourself, who else is going to be a fan of you? If I can't look at myself in the mirror and be like, you know what, Luke, you have shortcomings, but you also have great things. I treat myself like I would treat somebody else, right? Because I'm in a relationship with me. It's not like, oh, I'm just myself. I'm in a relationship with me. So I go through hardships, I go through difficulties, but when I interact with myself, I try to cheer myself up. Like, hey, dude, you're doing well. Like you're crushing. Even if I'm not crushing, right? Like this week I had like a big tax bill come. Right? Big fucking tax bill.
No, you can't escape that.
Bro, I can't. Big fucking tax bill. But this is a tax bill from a couple of years ago, right? So
this is you Canadian American?
American. I have my American citizenship. I'm originally from Argentina, but I have my American citizenship. But the situation that arose was like, I think taxes that are due or whatever, it was like almost $1 million. And I'm like, ah, fuck.
In taxes, yeah.
So it was, so I get the call from my accountant. Cool. Like, you wouldn't have to experience that because you're here, bro. You're here in Dubai. Like, good job.
Oh, it's good for now. I don't know what's going to happen in the future.
I moved to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is now 4% income tax. So it's the only tax haven for Americans or people that have U.S. citizenships.
But can you escape it fully?
If I give up my citizenship.
Okay,
yeah. But that's also like a situation whereby I need to have multiple passports, which is, I have a couple, but I'm working on them. But I was like, my CPA calls me and I'm like, okay, he gives me the good news. And it's like almost $1 million in taxes for whatever the year was. And I'm like, okay, I'm sitting there and I could have done things better. I could have appropriated money in different ways. But instead of beating myself over the head and being like, you idiot, like you fucked up, or you could have done this better, I look at myself and I'm like, all right, it's part of the game. If it wasn't fun, if it wasn't interesting, then life wouldn't be worth it. So I treat myself with grace and compassion. And I think if people can sense that in them, that you know what you're learning, you're developing, you're growing, that if you mess up, if you fuck up, if you fall, that it's okay. It's the same thing, I guess you would say with experience in the gym. When you mess up on the last set, or like when the weights, you don't hit your full set, right? And you finish at 8 instead of 12. You don't look at yourself, oh, you idiot, you didn't finish. You're like, okay, perfect. It's part of the process. And I treat life the same exact way. I look at my shortcomings and my difficulties and I'm like, I'm comfortable with that. Like, I'm okay with that. My process is very simple. I plan, I execute, and then I iterate. So I plan my process, I execute my process, and then I iterate. In the iteration is where I become better. And unless you have that mental framework of, I'm getting better and better and better and better. Like, you were training 14 years, bro. Like, when you looked at yourself 14 years ago, maybe you could have imagined who you became today, but in the process of becoming who you are today, you don't look back at who you were 14 years ago and you're like, this was a nobody, this was nothing. It's that journey. And I look at my personal development, who I am as a person, the same way. Maybe 20 years from now, I'll look at myself today and be like, oh, I was a kid, I was a chump.
Yeah,
the same thing, right?
I think I would look at myself and think the
Exactly.
same thing
So
when I'm like 40.
Yeah. So it's that process, and I'm like, but it's okay. It's the part of the journey. It's the process, and I enjoy it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You seem very self-aware. Have you always been self-aware?
I think it's self-realization. I like to realize, instead of being self-aware, being like, oh, I'm aware of my surroundings, I like to, Andrew says it. Andrew has a famous word. He calls it perspicacity, right? The ability to perceive that which cannot be seen. So I like to be in a state of self-realizing things. So I'm constantly aware of my habits. I'm constantly aware of my mental thoughts. I'm constantly aware of people that I hang out with. And in that, you kind of develop an awareness for the world. It's not an intuitive awareness. It's a proactive awareness that is actually you realizing that things are kind of taking place. I'm not going to steal Andrew's word, but it's a good word.
So going back to when you were growing up, I want to figure out this journey, this process of how you've got to where you are today. You say you grew up in
Argentina.
What was that like?
Poor.
Yeah, I've been there before. I was there on a rugby tour when I was 16, and I saw that there are some affluent areas, but the majority of it is not.
Yeah. So grew up in a rural town. I think like 15,000 people. Parents, normal, regular people. Never had a ton, but never like was lacking things. But the framework in South America, it's very much like family driven. It's kind of like the Middle East. So it's all about family. It's all about, your circle. In the West, like North America, it's very much like, oh, fuck your family, kind of do whatever you want. I don't know how it is in the UK, but in South America, it's very much like family and loyalty. But at the age of 16, I looked at what my parents were doing, working regular jobs. And I was like, I don't want to do this. My brother was working in a gas station. I was working in a hotel, like mopping floors. That was my job. Like, that's what I was doing. I was like, I cannot do this. And through a family member, I actually got a flight for free, sitting where the flight attendants sit. And that was my flight to America, right? So I didn't get a coach. I didn't sit like whatever it is where people sit. I sat where the flight attendants sit. And I was like, at the age of 16, with $200 in a suitcase that my parents gave me, I went to America and started working, pressure washing basketball courts, got gigs cleaning toilets, worked at a Buffalo Wild Wings, flipping the wings in the back. And eventually, I think it was part of the self-realization. I always knew that there was more. So I was always studying. I was always about self-education. I was always reading. And at the age of, I think 19 or 20, maybe a little more, 21, I was doing side gigs. I eventually got introduced with e-commerce and crypto through a series of friends and events, and it kind of panned out.
Yeah. I've done a bit of research. You made quite a bit of money off crypto.
Yes, a lot.
And some other investments.
Here we go. China is the worst. Horrible. Yeah. World Economic Forum training grounds right there, dude.
Thanks, G. England really upsets me for the same reason patriotic Americans upset by America, because England at its height was the best country in the world. They're the biggest empire on the planet, a tiny little island. The British could fight. The British were not afraid of fucking nobody. And if you go to England now, the cities suck. But if you go to like the countryside, go to old England, England used to be a badass place. Even when I grew up there like 10, 15 years ago, London was one of the best cities in the world. It's just fucked now. 10, 15 years ago, London would be the best city, one of the best cities in the world to live in. There was fucking girls, there was unlimited clubs, it was safe on the street. You had the most luxury of anything you could think of. You want a $10,000 cigar, they had everything. Everything was there, but they just fucking fell apart. You can't police it. If you let in a certain mindset, wherever they're from, you let in enough of it. It's just savagery. You can't fight savagery with law.
That's why Japan and Tokyo work so well. It's the culture's so homogenous.
Yeah, fuck you.
Everything's
not coming here. Fuck you.
Dude, you go inside to like some of these saunas with tattoos, you can't get in, bro. Yeah. They won't let you in. If you're a white guy, they won't let you into these saunas. Yeah. They keep their culture like super tight.
I respect it. Yeah,
but loads of countries do. When I was
intelligent. It makes sense. Yeah, because even if you look at all these countries, they end up going into clusters. You have little China, little Italy. They all end up coming back together in groups.
Canada's like the perfect thing like that. Like no one integrates. Like it's like everyone just like sticks to
New
their
York
kind.
City, bro. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's neighborhoods. They do it with neighborhoods, bro.
Yeah.
In America. Loads of countries are like that though. When I was in Moscow, every hot bitch I was talking to was like there was like these three private member clubs, and you talk to these girls like, I want to go here, I want to go here, and I have friends, I have a lot of connections in Russia. I'm like, okay, I need to get into this club. And the guy said to me, listen, you're not Russian, you can't get in. So, bro, I got money. He goes, you think Russians don't have money? You are not Russian. You are not going there. That's it. You're American. You're the fucking enemy. You are not going in that club. There ain't no way you'll be able to get into that place. That's just the end of the damn game. You probably don't want to. And you probably don't want to. Fucking weird. You could make the most bullshit basic business. If you had G's who were about it, waiters who knew how to upsell cake, fucking like, if you had everyone who was on point, there ain't business alive that would fail. The hard part is getting a business and then getting people who aren't dickheads and then managing them and no egos get in the way and no one trying to famoose or steal and everyone getting, that's the hard part. That's the real skill.
Leadership is hard, bro. Leadership is hard.
It's fucking hard, man.
Yeah.
But if you have a good team, like I already know, if you could give me 10 men now and I already know who they are and we would all sit there and agree our roles and shake hands and work at it, there ain't a business alive you could give me that we wouldn't fucking make money. We make money, we ain't gonna fucking go broke.
Well, there's 10 guys in this room.
There we go. Right, so I got to talk this to Justin. So me, Justin, Luke. Is Thomas coming or is he staying there?
I think Thomas is staying there.
Staying here? Me, you, and Justin will go, and whoever else in this van, and everyone else.
Is that what you get asked all the time on your shirt?
Was it?
Is that what you get asked?
Don't really have the sauce. What's the sauce, G?
Try to make them notice you and realize your usefulness. Don't try to tell them that you're useful, because every high value person, including, in fact, I'll show you right now.
You're gonna
Let's
show me your
let's
DMs,
yeah,
right?
I'll show you my DMs right
Oh,
this second.
damn, bro.
Okay, so ignore all the women in this DM. So I go to requests. I got this folder called hidden requests. Okay, this is now, 1 minute ago, 2 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago. So these 10 messages you could see were sent in the last 3 minutes, yeah? Another 10, that's going back 5 minutes. So that's these, wait, let me refresh it. So that's,
Bro, this is messages every minute.
20 messages in 5 minutes, 30 in 8 minutes. So every 10 minutes, let's say 45, 50 different messages every 10 minutes. There's no way someone like me is ever gonna read shit like that. You have to come across as valuable in a way that I'll notice you. Trying to tell me that you're a person of value is never gonna work.
You know what I've realized?
That's how I met you, that's how I met him.
Bro, you know what I've realized and what people haven't understood is that just like you analyze the markets before you get into them, people can analyze individuals and see how they can provide value. Just how you figure out how do I provide value in the marketplace by analyzing and studying it, you can study individuals and get to know what makes them tick.
That's exactly it.
Cheers on the Johnny Walker, brother.
Cheers, bro.
What would you tell people, you know, that get crazy opportunities that,
You know, so many times in life, I'm gonna continue talking while this guy goes absolutely fucking bananas right in front of me. You know what you remind me of, bro? A fucking pirate. Just a guy that travels the Caribbean and goes fucking nuts.
Magnets on the.
Bro,
This
if only you could see underneath this table.
Bro, this is the final boss. If you break into my house, so I've got 3 armed security, they can call 5 more at a touch of the button. You've met them on the way in. I've got the big steel door. If you get past my security, you neutralize all of them. You somehow get past the big steel door with welders. The reinforcement team don't turn up. You then have to break through this door, which is fingerprint access, which you probably saw. Then it's me, Andrew, and Luke all armed with machetes in this room. So this is the final boss of the trying to fuck with me
Good
game.
luck.
Oh, brother, trying to escape the booze.
No, he doesn't drink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
he doesn't
Pass
drink.
me a glass over then. It's me
Yeah,
and you.
absolutely, brother.
What about
It's
your
you-
cameraman?
It's you and me, bro.
You ever had Blue Label whiskey? That's like, what's this? 600? What's this cost? $600-700 bucks?
300.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Alcohol taxes must be what at an airport?
like, this is some compound shit. It's not a joke. Everybody talks about brokies, but I don't think people fundamentally understand what you guys mean by brokies. Can you still have no money and not be a brokie because of your mindset?
Yes, you can. A brokie is someone who's completely reliant and leaning on. I mean, there'll be dudes making $150,000, $200,000 a year that are super reliant on their job. They can't speak freely. If they say the wrong thing, they'll fucking lose their place at the office. You know, people are gonna get them out of their position, etc. Yeah, that's a brokie. That's a brokie, even though they have some money.
So broke is a condition of the mind and not the pocket.
Yeah, poor is a condition of the pocket. Brokies are there are millionaires who will be like, oh, I can't buy a Ferrari. That's a depreciating asset. Brokie, you are a brokie. Like, seriously, get over it. But yeah, it's a mindset. You could be homeless, and if you live your life the right way, you're not a brokie.
I think people get offended because I think that people think you guys are calling them poor, but that's partially the scenario. Yeah.
Nothing to do with poor.
If you're broke of the mind, you're guaranteed to be broke of the pocket. Your favorite car, bro?
The red one, the Aston Martin.
Tristan thinks well, guys. Critical thinking, I fucking love it. It's very rare. Nice spot, nice spot. Oh, Romania's a hidden gem. People are like, what is this guy doing randomly in Romania? Bro, look at this place.
So I've just told the head of security at the club we're going to after this to meet me here at 12 and drive me with my Rolls Royce over to the club. Don't drink and drive, kids.
You said you were going hard tonight, so I'm holding you to it, G.
Oh, you're going with me.
I am?
I ain't going at it alone.
Damn.
You too.
It's the random black guy.
I'm kidding.
If he does, I don't let him sit on my lap, I'm a racist.
I'm kidding. Please come and sit.
Please.
I'm trolling.
Hey, make sure you record it.
I'm trolling. We're friends, right? We're friends. I respect you. You respect me.
I hope so.
I hope so, man.
It's called brotherly love. Your pores are getting clogged up with metal.
Wait, so what's...
I'll send you all the shit, bro. We use everything organic. Everything, dude. I'll give you another example. Just so you understand how fucking crazy this shit is with how America's going. Lobster, shrimp, crab, cornbread.
Cornbread? I love cornbread.
They used to all be, you know what they used to be back in the day? That used to be slave food. That used to be what they would give the slaves to eat. And it's like nutritional value for cornbread, ass, genetically modified food.
Keep you dumb.
Keep you dumb and stupid, bro.
Get good dopamine rush. Keep you happy.
That's what we've been talking. That's what we just talked about with Tristan, bro. If you don't protect the temple, bro, you can't operate. They keep you dumb, weak, and stupid.
Bro, I'm retarded, bro.
You're not retarded, bro.
No, dude, you know how much cornbread I ate, bro?
A lot.
Every day for breakfast, dude.
Oh,
Holy
dang.
shit.
That's not good, bro.
Dude, corn's really good for you.
He asked me yesterday, he's like, corn good for you? I'm like, dude, if you have organic corn a couple once in a while, it's fine.
Yeah, you ever seen what real corn looks like?
Totally different, bro.
It's a little thing like this. It's like the size of this. It's like purple too, I think.
Yeah, there's a couple different ones.
What do you think about a gold standard?
I mean, how much gold is there in the world?
It's limited supply.
Who told you that?
Well,
that's it.
Yeah. Sorry, my philosophy, on that as well. It's that it's harder to mine to get to the extracts, basically.
Sure. It requires energy, right? It requires energy. So the value of the gold is correlated to the difficulty and the energy that it requires in order to get it. But how much is there, right? What's telling you that they're not stockpiling this motherfucker up and just controlling and manipulating the prices? JP Morgan, $2 billion in fines and lawsuits from manipulating the gold market.
And Credit Suisse.
It's fucked.
And everything that's being, Credit Suisse, UBS in Switzerland. How do you action this information? So you notice you're a part of this system, you're already in the system.
You stop working for money.
So
you start working for purpose, and you start working to create income producing ecosystems. So if you're working and exchanging time, which is the most valuable resource that you have for an imaginary piece of money that anybody can make or anybody can print out of it. Imagine being so stupid that somebody's out there printing money. Somebody's printing money, and on the counter, you're working for it, and then you're getting taxed because they need your taxes in order to run the government when they could just print it. It makes no sense whatsoever. So stop working for money. Stop working for a paycheck. Start working towards a life that instills freedom and instills your ability to produce money without you having to work. Now, that may sound like insane for 99% of people. So where do you start? You start by not spending, right? You start by not being a consumer, but being a producer. So most people are consumers. That's why they're always in the rat race. If you're producing, you're always being able to generate income, but you don't want to be producing just with your time. You want to be producing with systems. Now you have AI, now you have automation, now you have software. Dude, you can literally be making money while you sleep. And if you think that's not real, look at all the digital companies that are running. They're making money while the owners are sleeping.
One, I think, limitation that people have sometimes when they start making money, they just end up blowing it, right? But you've really focused on that multiplication, the systems, the processes, which I've been trying to stay very abide by. Why do you think people get caught at that threshold? And like, what are the ways you've been looking at scaling digital businesses so that you're able to continue growing?
So most people, let's say they have $100,000 in the bank account. They want to show off that they have $100,000 in the bank account. People that have $1 million in the bank account, they want to show off that they got $1 million. I don't want to show off. I don't give a fuck. I know what I have. I know what I'm worth. I know what my companies are worth. I know what my companies produce. I don't have to show it to anybody. I don't have to prove it to anybody. I just have to continue operating and understanding that I don't want to spend the initial capital that required time. Because I tell people, you don't buy things. Listen to me. You don't buy things with money. You buy things with the amount of time that it takes you to get that money. So for example, and I say it quite often, if you and I were to walk into a Louis Vuitton store with somebody that works at a McDonald's, they would look at that $500 wallet a lot more expensive than you and I would. Why? Because they think, oh, wow, $500? That took me how many hours of work?
A week.
Wow, that's expensive. For us, oh, well, you just make a couple bucks here and there, have it in some sort of automation. You don't value the $500 because it didn't take you a lot of time. So what you need to do is safeguard your time and understand that the time that you input is designed to liberate you, not for you to spend it liberating another person.
How do you build those systems? So you focus on e-commerce, but you've done other stuff now with Capital Club. What's your philosophy, first principle philosophy of how you're building out systems that are generating you revenue long into the future?
So there's two things that you need to focus on in business. There's income producing tasks and risk mitigation tasks. So your risk mitigation tasks in business are your customer service representatives, your accounting, your budgeting, things that you can actually delegate or offsource or onboard somebody to take on. Then you have your income producing tasks, right? These are your sales. This is your marketing, the hands-on that actually generates money. Your goal is to, as soon as possible, anytime, whether you're reselling sneakers or whether you run a Forbes 500 company, your job is to not do the things that somebody else can do for you, right? So if you're flipping sneakers, go have a runner. Oh yeah, but I won't make as much money. Yeah, but you get to save time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but why don't you value your time? Because you're not doing anything productive with that time. I get to hang out with the people that I love. I get to go out and go for walks. I get to biohack. I get to travel, and I'll pay somebody or give them a slice of the pie so that I don't have to do it. So as soon as you get started in your entrepreneurial journey, the first thing you need to do is start onboarding people that can take care of these risk mitigation tasks. Like, why are you answering customer service emails when you can hire somebody from the Philippines for $350, $400 a month, which is a good salary there, base entry level salary, to do it for you? They'll be happy, they'll be chilling, and now you have time to focus on what? Income producing tasks. And not even going deep into systems and operations, that's the first part. The second part is your KPIs, your key performance indicators, right? You need to know where you're going. Like, what's your objective? Most people want a fancy business in order to make money. Most people would say, oh, I'm going to build the next Uber. Dude, if your goal is to make money, you don't necessarily have to be a business owner. You don't have to be an entrepreneur to make money. If your goal is to become free, then why are you going to build a SaaS business that has tens of investors that you have to pick up the phone and be accountable to?
Yeah.
That's not freedom.
100%.
That's not freedom. And we see it rinse and repeat. I'll give you an example, which was a crazy one. Loom. Do you know the company Loom?
Yeah.
They're the screen recording company.
They just sold, right?
They just sold. And everybody's like, oh, they sold for $950 million. Go look at the faces of the founders and go look at the tweets that they were putting out, because they raised a ton of money. They didn't own a massive percentage of their company, and they slaved their motherfucking lives away for what? A couple $1 million paycheck. A lot of them said it wasn't worth it.